everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. In today's video, I'm going to share with you two new pop-up stand cards. Some people call these grid cards or slice cards. I call them pop-up stand cards because they're made with a little stand. And I have two of these for school. So let me show you what we're going to do and then we will jump right in. So I have one that is kind of a teacher's desk, and then another one that is more math. So we're going to slide the math one off to the side for a minute. And this is our teacher's desk, or just a school desk. And let me show you the pieces that come with it, and then we will go ahead and start to assemble it. So you have an apple that has 3 layers. It has the leaf, the apple, and the stem. So this piece you're going to want to cut out of whatever color you want your stem to be. And then that is your front stand. Then the middle stand has 3 books on it. So we have the 3 book binding. 1, 2, 3, and then also the book pages. So you're going to want to cut this piece out of white or cream. And there's your middle stand. The back stand is the chalkboard, and it has the frame. It has your alphabet, ABC, and then the chalkboard or the blackboard piece, and then the back stand. Now, if you're doing your back stand in black or gray, you don't need to cut this piece, but I put it on there in case you're doing your stands a different color. So mine are in black, so I'm just going to go ahead and set that to the side. I don't need it. And then we have our 2 cover pieces, our 3 stands, and the back piece that goes on the back for writing or stamping a message. Okay, so let's go ahead and assemble these. We're going to start with the back piece, which is your chalkboard. And I'm just going to take this frame and I'm going to go ahead and add some glue all the way around it and glue it to that. And the glue that I'm using today is my Scotch Create Tacky Glue, and I've just put it in a smaller bottle. So let's kind of move some of this stuff out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And I like these smaller bottles that have the needle nose because they work really well for these smaller pieces. Okay, so we're just going to add that right there. Get it all lined up. And we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to put this white piece on the back. You can, if you have some stamps, you can stamp something on there. You could print your sentiments. You can write it out. You could also even turn this more into a pocket and slip a gift card down in there if you wanted to. So now we're going to go ahead and add our ABCs. And I tore my A. Your machine will cut these out just fine. It wasn't my machine, it was me that did it. And I had everything put away, so I'm not going to take the time to cut that, but I will. I promise yours will work. A, B, and you can put them on there any way that you want. There's no right or wrong way. A, B, C. Oops, let's get a little drop of glue right under there. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and set that aside and let the glue dry, and then we will start with our middle piece, or do our middle piece next. So I'm going to take my white, my pages, and I'm just going to I'm using my ATG tape runner, and just line that up. And then we're going to start with the bottom book and build up. So, and that's just these U pieces. If you did the card sets, the A2 card sets, it also had these books on there, but I did the pages separately so that if you wanted to stack your books differently on that card, you could. But on this one, I did all the pages as one set because really you can't stack them any other way and make this work. There's our bottom. Now we've got our middle one. And you can cut these out of any color that you want. You could do your school colors, or if you have a favorite book series, you could do them that way. However you like. I'm just going to glue those down. So you can see that this goes together really quickly and really easily. It's not a difficult card to make. That's one of the things I like about these pop-up stand cards, is they are really easy to do and they look so cute. They're so fun. I have lots of people emailing me telling me how much they love the pop-up stand cards. Okay, so there is our middle piece. On our front piece, I'm not going to put the apple on yet. I'm going to go ahead and assemble it, but I'm not going to glue it on there yet. So I'm going to take my apple piece, and I cut mine out of red. You could do green or yellow if you have a different color apple that you enjoy. And then we're going to glue our leaf on there. And I'm just putting glue right on the tip of that, or the bottom of that leaf. And we're going to set that aside. So there are all of your three pieces. We have the back, the middle, and the front. And now we're going to go ahead and assemble them onto the stands. So you have three stands, two different sizes. The taller stand goes in the middle, and the two smaller sides go in on the two sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my middle stand and my middle piece, and I'm going to put them together right there. And now I can add my back stand, and you're just going to slide those two pieces together, and they're kind of tight so that they don't fall apart too badly. And then we're going to put the front one on there. And I did that facing me, so there you go. That's kind of what that looks like. And now all you'll do is take these other two, and one goes on the right-hand side and one goes on the left-hand side. And you do kind of have to play around with it just a little bit to get them all on there. But it's not hard. It's just kind of playing with it for a second. And line up all of those sliced pieces. Just like that. And then this one. And then I like to stand it up and make sure that everything is nice and flat and tight. Perfect. Oh, my bottom. There we go. Okay, so there, everything is just nice and flat. And now I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to flip everything to the left. It really doesn't matter which direction you go first, but I'm flipping everything to the left on this one. Some of my other videos, I may have folded it to the right first. And we are going to take these tabs, and we are going to bend them to the right. So I folded it to the left. I'm going to bend those tabs to the right and glue them down. They're not scored, but they will just fold nice and flat. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over, and we're going to this time fold it to the right, just in the opposite direction that it was. And now we're going to fold those tabs to the left. So if you cut out your stands a different color than you cut out the main pieces, you'll be able to see what you're folding over. But even if you do them all out of the same color, it's pretty obvious because those are just the pieces that bend and fold. And if you don't want to put the covers on, you don't have to do this step. You can ignore this and then they'll just stand and you'll see the feet or the stands. Okay, so there we go. Now you can just fold it and make sure it's going to fold in both directions. Okay, while it's still flat, let's go ahead and take our cover piece and glue it to the front. You just want to make sure everything is lined up along the bottom. And now I can add my apple to that front piece. The reason that we did this last is because we don't want that cover piece covering up this little apple. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to take my second cover piece and put it on the back. Line everything up. And there is our pop-up stand card for school. It has the little teacher's blackboard in the back with the alphabet, a set of books, and an apple. That is so cute and so fun. These cards would work great for back to school, but if we're a little late and you've already missed back to school, you can do them for teacher appreciation, 100 days of school, the end of school, graduation, promotions, or just for a friend that's a teacher and you just want to say hello. Okay, so there is our teacher's desk. This next one is our math desk. And I've had a couple of people ask me to do something for the math department specifically. And so that's kind of why I did this. But I think it'll work for just about anything. So we have the 3 stands again. Separate those. And then our cover piece, we have 2 cover pieces, but we also have a protractor ruler. Our front piece is a pencil and it has some little pieces. So there's the pencil, there's the lead, there's the pencil back, there's the silver part of your pencil and your eraser. The middle part is a math equation and the back is a chalkboard again with another math equation or symbols. So the middle piece, looks like this, and it has the numbers and the plus sign and then the background. And then our chalkboard has the frame. It has our pi symbol. It has a square root math equation on there. And just like the first one, I gave you another piece for the blackboard or the chalkboard. If you're cutting this out in black, you don't need this piece. But on this one, I cut it out of red, so I am going to use this one. And then you have your piece that goes on the back. So let's go ahead and do that back piece first. And I'm going to just take my blackboard and my tape runner. I use the glue on the tiny pieces. I use the tape runner on the bigger pieces. But you can use one or the other on all of them if you need to. Okay, we're just going to line that up. And then I'm going to take my frame and put some glue on it. I got these cut out a couple of days ago, and I've been babysitting. I've had a house full of little ones. And so it's taken me a minute to get these done, and a couple of them got kind of a little bit bent. But it's all going to work out and be wonderful. Okay, so there is my blackboard. Let's turn it over and put the back piece on again. And it just goes in the middle with a little bit of the shadow showing. Flip it over, and now we're going to put our little math equations and signs on here. So first we have the pi symbol. This would be a fun card to do on March 14th, which is Pi Day, right? Okay, and then we have this square root equation, and I'm going to lay it out first to make sure I get everything on there the way that I want it, and then I will go ahead and glue it down. Oh, my fingers are sticky. 8x. So this is what it should look like, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on here. Now these little letters and numbers will cut out fine out of your machine. If you don't like doing the paper, you could cut them out of vinyl and then just put them all on as one piece, kind of like a sticker. I do that quite often, and in fact I need to do another card video showing you how to do that because it's been a minute since I've shown that. But when I do cards for my personal use, I almost always use the vinyl. So when did school start for you guys? We started, well, I don't have any kids in school, but my daughter that is a counselor, she started this week. And the school that is behind us started this week. And then my other kids, some other grandkids, are on year-round. And so they are actually off right now that everybody else is going back. They're in Disneyland. How fun is that? Okay, so there is our back piece. And now we're going to do the middle piece, which has our equation on here. So I'm going to take the white background and glue it on. And there is a little teeny bit of a shadow behind there. It's not much, but there is a little bit of one, just to kind of give it some dimension. And it's 1 + 2 = 3. So let's get all of these pieces on here first, and then we can glue it down. Whoops. And if these pieces are too little for you, like I said, you can do them with vinyl. You can also do them with paper and use a pair of tweezers or a pickup tool, if that will help you. So there's our plus sign. Let's do the 3. And I was not very good at math. I don't know if any of you are math people out there. I was not. It was not my favorite subject. But I have a friend that is a math teacher, and I know some others that really enjoy math, and they said, you know what, it's so hard to find something just for math. So I thought, well, why not try this? It's perfect for any school thing, but for those that really enjoy math, we've got you covered. All right. There is our middle piece. Here is our front piece, and it is the pencil. And I am going to assemble the pencil, but I'm not going to glue it on just yet. So the really tiny piece right here is your lead. And if you don't want to cut that out, or you don't want to bother with gluing it, you can use a Sharpie and just color the bottom of that. The machine will cut this little piece out just fine, and it glues on there. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. But if you're in a hurry or you don't want to take the time, go ahead and do that piece with the Sharpie, and no one will be the wiser. I'm going to do my eraser next. And then I'm going to do this pencil. I'm just going to lay it right there, kind of so that those little tiny corners match along the bottom. I don't know if you can see that really well. And then we're going to put that silver piece on last, right there in between the pencil and the eraser. And when this all dries, it's going to look fabulous. We're not going to glue it onto this piece just yet. Let's go ahead and assemble this card. So if you missed it from the first card that I did, you have 3 stands. 2 are the same size, and the one is a little bit larger. The larger one goes in the middle. So I'm going to take my middle stand and my middle piece, and I'm going to put those together and match up those edges. And then I'm going to take the back piece and match it up. And then the front piece and slide it on there so that it looks like, let's see if you can see that, looks like that. And now we can add those other stands on the right and the left side. So I'm just gonna kind of lay it down and just fiddle with this. And you do have to do a little bit of fiddling, but it's not hard. The hardest part for me is working around the camera because I can't really see. Turn it sideways. Maybe if I stand up and get above it, that will help. Oh yes, that works much better when I can actually see what I'm doing. And maybe you can see what I'm doing too. Okay, so now you can see that this is why it's called a grid card, is because it does show a grid down on the bottom. It's called a slice card because it has those slices in it. I call it a stand card because I think the stands remind me of Barbie dolls back in my childhood day. Okay, so now I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to turn everything so that it is facing towards the left. Make sure everything is lined up down on that bottom. And then we're going to take these little tabs. These are from your stands, and we're going to fold them over and glue them down. And I'm going to fold to the right. You want to fold in the opposite direction that your card is laying. Just like that. Now let's fold it over, and this time we're going to turn everything in the opposite direction. So this time we're going to point it to the right. Make sure everything is still lined up on the bottom. And this time we're going to fold the tabs to the left and glue them down. And every video I've watched, everybody does these just a little bit different. It really doesn't matter how you do them. You just want to make sure that everything is lined up and folded correctly. Okay, now we're going to take our cover piece for the bag. Oh, need a little bit more glue. And cover all of that up. Flip it over and take our second cover piece and cover those up. This red and yellow makes me kind of think of Harry Potter. And then we're going to add our protractor, this ruler, protractor. And now we will add our pencil to the front. Right along there. And there is our math desk, teacher's desk, pop-up stand card. So fun. So both of these cards fit an A2 envelope. I have adjusted the size a little bit because some people were saying that they were having a hard time making them fit into the envelopes. If it's not fitting quite right, go ahead and try folding it in both directions, but these should now fit perfectly into your A2 envelope. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give me a thumbs up down below. Hit subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos, and have a great day.